don't know how far it'll go in Pennsylvania with a Democrat governor, but Pennsylvania lawmakers announced plans to introduce a bill that would ban porn in schools. Take a look.
We are here to protect our children. We do not need a state government commission to decide what is or isn't appropriate for our children. That's a parent's job. I have created a tool that equips parents and our community to protect our children. Ask the question, what's in our schools' libraries? What's in our children's libraries? We need to ask these questions. Minors should not be exposed to obscene material. And on the link that is right in front of me, there's the QR code that takes you directly to the website that I've created that outlines these things and exposes the content of these books. The content of these books is actually displayed over here to my left, but it can't be shown on camera. If you try to read the content at your local school board meeting, you will usually be shut down and hauled out if you continue. But yet it's okay to have in our children's libraries? It's not. So our job...
My next guest is the founder of Optima Ed and faculty member of the Leadership Institute's School Board Programs, Erika Donalds. Welcome to the program.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Is keeping porn out of schools really? I mean, it's a pretty low bar. I swear 5 years ago, if you told me we were going to be fighting over porn in schools, I would have laughed at you.
And that's exactly what parents say. As the Leadership Institute is traveling the country talking to parents, they're shocked that pornography is in our schools and that the American Library Association is calling out Banned Books Week when we're talking about books like Gender Queer and This Book is Gay, whose materials, as you said, were so explicit that you can't even read them in a public hearing without getting kicked out. So it's shocking that we're at this point, but parents absolutely want to protect the innocence of their children.
They say this has something to do with LGBTQ, yada, yada, yada. I don't want any porn in the schools, right? Gay, straight, non-binary, just keep. You know what? When you see that Annenberg study about the number of people that can't even tell you all three branches of government, we should know that we have a problem in our education system. I mean, I get it. Most people can't name all 9 Supreme Court justices. I think they should be able to, but okay. But if you can't name your member of Congress or all 3 branches of government, we have a serious problem.
You're absolutely right. And at Optima Ed, we run charter schools of the classical nature. There are thousands of books in circulation that these children could be reading, which will actually increase our reading proficiency in our schools, which is so desperately needed based on the reports that we've seen of learning loss, both after COVID and before, frankly. Why are we wasting taxpayer money on graphic novels of both heterosexual and homosexual nature? Parents do not want this in our schools. Has nothing to do with banning books. When you look at a banned book list, it actually has links to where you can purchase the supposedly banned books. That is a hoax. This is all about them trying to indoctrinate and sexualize children. And parents aren't having it anymore. And thankfully, as you showed in that clip, neither are lawmakers in a lot of states.
And when they say book ban, I don't know what planet these people are living on. A book ban would, if you had uniformed police officers or Stasi or whatever standing in front of Barnes and Noble saying, "You can't buy this book," that would be a book ban. First of all, taking it out of the school library, let's say the elementary school library, and relegating it to the high school library is not a book ban. But saying it's not going to be in the school library, but you can freely get it online or at Target or Barnes & Noble or whatever. A book ban means nobody's allowed to have the book. It doesn't mean if we say as parents, we vote for school board members, and they say, okay, this book we think is inappropriate for unfettered access in the school library, so it's not going to be there. That's not a ban, okay? That's not a ban.
That's right. They're trying to distort the issue, and they're doing it on purpose. The American Library Association, their own data shows that the people who are objecting to these books the most, the largest group, are parents. And so they know exactly what's going on. They're trying to villainize parents who have every right to say that these books are not age appropriate. They are pure pornography by any definition. We know exactly what it looks like. We know what it sounds like when people are reading it, and we're all squirming, including Senator Kennedy in committee. Everyone who saw that video just couldn't believe that he was actually reading gender queer out loud in public. It's so offensive. So demonizing these parents and conflating the issue, as you mentioned, with the fact that we don't want them in schools, but they're freely available for people to purchase or even get at a public library. Those are two different things. And this book ban week that the American Library Association is promoting is a hoax.
I do like the, man, this is a really smart position that some conservatives are taking. If you can't read it on the radio, you can't read it in school, right? If it's got the 7 dirty words, if reading it on the radio would trigger an FCC violation, then you can't read it in the elementary school. I think that's a perfect way to go about this. But back to the thing about the Annenberg survey. Also, we learned that a large percentage of people can't even name the 4 freedoms in the First Amendment. They know freedom of speech, but they don't know freedom of the press, freedom of religion, and right to assemble peaceably and petition government for redress of grievances. Those are basic foundation stuff, right? The president, the executive branch, the legislative branch, the judicial branch. Before you branch out and provide genderqueer or any of these books, shouldn't you have covered the topic of how the government works? I mean, really?
Absolutely right. Many studies that have been coming out after COVID are showing that our proficiency rates, whether it's in civics, reading, or math, are so despicably low. We have got to get refocused on academic achievement. I mean, we're talking about 38% of students in New York, grades 3 to 8, are proficient in math. In Baltimore, 40 schools have 0 children who are proficient in math on grade level. And these statistics repeat themselves over and over. As you mentioned, when it comes to civics knowledge, we do not have room in our libraries for garbage and pornography. We need to stack it with books about our founding fathers and our Constitution and make sure students learn about America and the true history of our country before they look at pornography or anything else, especially when parents are saying absolutely not.
Do you think this has the power to move voters? I think we saw the whole thing with Ron DeSantis and the parents' rights and education law. They called it "Don't Say Gay." There's no "Don't Say Gay." Everything they said it was going to do, it didn't. Nobody's been arrested or marched out of a school for being LGBTQ. Do you think, I only got 40 seconds, that this could move voters away from Democrats?
Has. Look at Virginia. All of the moms that spoke up at school board meetings and got activated. The Leadership Institute is traveling the country where not only are these parents running for school boards and winning these races over issues like this, but they're taking courses with Leadership Institute, learning how to be activists and really make changes in their school districts. So absolutely, we are seeing parents from all over get active and start to win.
Leave it there. Have a great weekend. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.